First of all, a very happy new year to all 25 subscribers. For a long time it was only 8, so I got no idea where 25 has come from, but thank you very much for watching. Me rambling on about movies must be doing something right. But happy new year to you all. This is the first movie review of 2023, and as you can tell, it's daytime. It's in the day. I was going to do the review of M3gan on Wednesday night, but it was bloody freezing. It was absolutely ridiculously cold. Well, it is winter, I suppose. My nose was streaming. I was sneezing. Oh, here we go. Another cold or some virus I was going to get. So I thought, no, forget it. I'll wait until it's a little bit warmer. To be honest, it isn't, but hey ho. And it also gives me a couple of days to digest what I witnessed. And boy, that's a lot to digest with M3gan. So here we go. Bit of guerrilla filmmaking. I haven't got these fancy little poles where you can stick your phones on. Nope, it's just my bare hands. So, M3gan. So about 2 weeks ago, I seen a film on Sky called *Malignant*, which was directed by James Wang. James Wang is the American Asian king of the jump scares, behind a lot of horror movies, including the first two Conjurings, Insidious, Tiptoes Through the Tulips. He's also behind Sinister, Annabelle, etc., etc. So he's got a varying CV of hits, shall we say. Some are great, some a little bit meh. But *Malignant* was a very, very silly but incredibly entertaining slice of action horror hokum about a woman who thought she's haunted, but she's actually haunted by her dead brother, who happens to be a parasite on her back, or who she thought was her imaginary friend. Very silly, ridiculous, but you can see that was the film which was to become the blueprint for M3gan. So that brings us quite nicely to M3gan. So I went to the Scott Cinema Wednesday night. It was absolutely teeming with teenagers. I felt about 90 years old in the audience. And the premise of M3gan is, the story is how it goes, is that young Katie, her parents dies in a horrific crash. She survives, and obviously she's grieving, and she stays with her auntie. Her auntie works for a company called Funky, and they are creating a Furby type toy. But their head of the corporation, Justin Ling, who I thought was hilarious, by the way, he was hilarious, very much an Elon Musk type character. He wants something else. He wants something more, and so Katie's auntie and her fellow scientist starts creating an AI prototype of M3gan. So this young girl, young Katie, her surrogate sister is to be M3gan. M3gan is there to help her cope with the grieving process and become her best friend. And yeah, everything goes along pretty swimmingly. And then shit hits the fan. M3gan starts to malfunction. But I think, to be honest, she's malfunctioned quite a while back in the film. And the slaughter begins. Well, I say slaughter. There's a little bit of bloodletting. Could have been a lot more, I think. But yes, and I mean, we know what's going to happen. We know, I mean, it's predictable. This is a film that's not out to reinvent the horror wheel. We've seen this countless times in a hell of a lot of movies. It's nothing new. It is nothing new or revolutionary. So what we end up with M3gan is a very odd film. There are very random moments, like the breaking out into sudden Disney-esque singing. Which were meant to be funny, but were met with silence in the audience. I think most of the teenagers was traumatised by the singing. We have... what else do we have that was quite weird? Not only the singing, but also the now infamous dance. Random, didn't need it, but it's become the stuff of memes. And it is quite fangy, though possibly I think it could be fangier. The material was ripe for more humour, I think. So yes, so this is very much a horror comedy. It's very more towards comedy. Now I know a lot of you out there hate comedy. I have a lot of friends who even just the mere mention of the word horror breaks them out into hyperventilating and panic attacks. You wusses. I've seen scary episodes of Teletubbies. Yes, M3gan is tame. It is tame. It is not that scary. I kind of wish it was. Apparently a sequel is just being announced, so yeah, hopefully that will be a little bit more bloodthirsty and scary. This is not. So if you don't like horrors, but you're looking for an introduction into horrors, this is a good place to start. This is a very good place to start. I don't think you'd be very disappointed at all. But saying that, it is a forgettable film. It's very much a popcorn munching throwaway type of movie. It's conveyor belt. It's not going to be a film that's going to live on in the memory. Once you've seen it, you forget about it. But saying all that, I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was insanely entertaining. It was camper than a row of tents. Honestly, it's Chucky and drag. It is Chucky and drag. I'm not even joking. Sashay away, girlfriend. It is that camp. But I mean, you'll be spending most of the time thinking, how did they do that with M3gan? You know, is that a real child actress? Is that incredibly convincing CGI? And also, watch out for M3gan's Elton John type sausage fingers. They're really fat. And that did make me laugh. So this is a really fun couple of pints late Friday night movie. I enjoyed it more than I really wanted to. I can see why it's a box office smash in the States, mainly because it is a PG. I think it's a PG-13 over there. So, you know, kids as young as 13 can go and see it as long as they got a parental guardian with them. But I enjoyed it. I am a sucker for horrors, even though this isn't really too much of a horror. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I would give it around about a 7 out of 10, which I think might be a bit too generous for some. I mean, some would say 6 would be about right. But I would give it about a 7 out of 10. Just because it was entertaining and it was fun, and when I want to enter a cinema, I want to be entertained. It does the job. Tell me what you thought about it, guys. Do you think this is the future of horror? Is that a good thing? Is it a crap thing? Let Uncle Mark know. But there you go. I enjoyed it. Best with a couple of pints down here, though, I think, on a late Friday night. And yeah, and M3gan does look a little bit like Carol Vorderman. Gotta say, gotta get that out there.